welcome you back to the Gene K. Freeman Aquatic Center for day 2 of the Minnesota Invitational. We will be swimming prelim session this morning in 500 free, 200 IM, and the 50. Swimmers will qualify into 3 sets of finals tonight. C, B, and A final. As we get ready for heat number 1 of the 500. You'll hear the referee's whistle. That's Bob Cronstead handing off to our starter, Gary Albrecht. 500 free, heat 1. Swimming in lane 3 from California, Ashlyn Fiorilli. In lane 5 from Pittsburgh, Kate Bailey. And in lane 6 from Minnesota, Ella Smith. This would be a great time to get out your phone and text Grandma and Grandpa and tell them to tune into the live stream. Have them just go to the Gopher Sports website to the swimming, either men's or women's, and find the Minnesota Invitational, and the link will be there for the live stream of this meet. They get to take in all the action from anywhere on the globe if they have access to the worldwide interweb. The live stream will be broadcast on YouTube. Results also on Meet Mobile under 2023 Minnesota Invite. That's 2023 Minnesota Invite on Meet Mobile. Turning at the 51st is Ashlyn of Cal. Ashlyn still splitting under 30. She's got 3.5 seconds in the bank to break 5 minutes. And Ashlyn is still under that 30 seconds, but just by a whisker. Ella Smith of Minnesota, splitting low-mid 30 points. Ella actually has picked up the pace a little bit. That's her best split in a few 50s, 30.1. Ashland still cruising along high 29s. About as high a 29 as you can split. Ella Smith now under 30 as she makes a bid to get under 5 minutes. She has no time in the bank, but going under 30 will get her there. At the 400, Ashland on her way to about a 4:55 or 6. Ella still flirting with that 5-minute mark. "50 yards to go." Ashland still on track for a high 4:55. Ella with a good last 50 could break 5 minutes. And Ashland, as predicted, 4:55.59. And Ella, 5:00.40. .509 for Kate Bailey. Heat 2. In lane 1 for Harvard, Robin Cruz Abrams. In lane 2 from Minnesota, Anya Kaljevic. In lane 3, Anya's teammate Jade Rogier. Lane 4 from Harvard, Molly Hamlin. Lane 5 from Pittsburgh, Jill Berger. In lane 6 from Minnesota, Katya Sudakova. In lane 7, also from Minnesota, another senior, Elle Niebuhr. And in lane 8 from Harvard, Grace Yoon. Anya Kaljevic, who had a terrific split on the 800 free relay last night, leading at the 100 out in 55-1. Splitting 29-5. Anya was a member of the Serbian national team, competing in the Berlin World Cup in 22, also the European Juniors. First year swimmer for the Gophers. At the 200, 29-7 the split, still fastest on the board, and a 1:54.3 at the 2. At the halfway, Anya's still splitting that 59-second, low 59-second pace. She's got a shot at being under 450. Still under 30. Slipped just a little bit slower. Anya's got the speed for this. She was 146.2 on that 800 free relay last night. Need just a little bit more turnover. 150 yards to go. Pace is 59.5. .100 yards to go. Anya over 30 for the first time. Running in second is Jade Roger. Jade scheduled to get under 5 minutes by a bunch. He's splitting just barely over 1 minute pace. And the bell for Anya. Probably looking at a 5:53 flat or so. Terrific race for third here between Molly, Jill, and Katja in 4, 5, and 6. But here comes Anya Kaljevic, the first-year swimmer from Minnesota, 4:53.7. Jade in at 4:58 flat. Followed by Molly, Jill, and then the Gophers' Katja Sudakova, who breaks 5 minutes by the slimmest of margins. Nice 14-second drop for Anya Kaljevic of Minnesota in lane 2. Heat 3. Swimming in lane 1 from Harvard, Piper Wood-Prince. In lane 2 from Pittsburgh, Abby Licht. Lane 3 from Cal, Mia Motikaitis. Lane 4, our number 2 seed from Arizona, Malia Rausch. In lane 5 from Minnesota, Megan Van Berkom. Lane 6 from Pittsburgh is Tessa Mock. Lane 7 from Cal, Ava Chavez. And lane 8 from Minnesota, Elliott Kennedy. At the 153.5 is Mia Motikaitis. Mia was 14th at the NCAA championship last year. Mia was 440 last year at the NCAAs. At the 200, it's Mia, 150.6, sitting second. Megan Van Berkom of Minnesota. Mia is the Big Ten champion in the 400 IM. And Megan right now with the fastest split on the board, 28.6. At the 250, Mia 248. And she responds with the 28.5. Megan 28.9 at 250. Mia on track for a low 440. With only one heat to follow, this is the first of two circle-seeded heats. These swimmers may be going just to get in. They may be going for cuts. 100 to go for Mia. She is at 445, splitting 57.5. Megan on track for maybe a 446. Let me correct that for Meg. Maybe a 444. And Mia 442.7. Meg won 445.2. As they punch their tickets to the finals, Elliott Kennedy. Some outside smoke in lane 3, 448.9. Big swim for Elliott. Heat 4. Swimming in lane 1 for Arizona, Ava Sitman. Lane 2 for Harvard, Alexandra Baston. In lane 3 for Pittsburgh, Emily Buccaro. In lane 4 for Arizona is our top seed, Tia Lindsay. Lane 5 for Minnesota, Katie McCarthy. In lane 6 for Cal, Rachel Klinker. Lane 7 for Cal, Catherine Hazel. And lane 8 for Harvard, Cindy Liu. At the 100, Katie McCarthy, 54.8. Just a little bit slower than the previous heat, but she also looks very relaxed. All she's got to do is get in. A little bit of synchro here in the pool, a whole bunch of kids turning together. Harvard's Alexandra Baston. Splitting well here in the early going. And Alexandra and Katie turning together. Katie just a tick ahead. Now moving up a little bit in lane 6 is Cal's Rachel Klinker. Rachel swam this event at the NCAAs, finished out of the finals. Rachel was only 1 second out of making the B final. Remarkable. She finished in 28th place from 16 to 28, 1 second. And a fun race here between Alexandra and lane 2. Katie in lane 5, Rachel in 6, and Catherine in 7. Katie and Rachel with the best splits on the board, 28.8. .349s for all three of them at the 400. It's going to be tight in that round, in and around that 448, but all three should make it into the A final. With a length to go, Rachel with a little bit of a lead. And Rachel 4:45.3. Nice 9-second drop. Katie McCarthy down to 4:45.9 for second. And third will go to Catherine Hazel of Cal. We have a disqualification in heat 4. Lane 3, a false start. Our next event is the men's 500. Heat 1. Swimming in lane 2 for California, Gabriel Jett. In lane 3 for Cal, Michael McGillivray. In lane 4 for Harvard, Anders Easters. Lane 5 for Minnesota, Grant Wadney. Lane 6 for California, Keaton Jones. And lane 7 for Cal, Tyler Kopp. And if you like outside smoke, this heat's for you. Lane 2, Gabriel Jett of California. Doesn't have a 500 time yet this year. He's going to take care of that today. Gabriel was 6th in this event at the NCAAs, right in this very pool last year. Qualified with a 4:10, went 4:12 in the finals. .142 for Gabriel at the 200, holding 26s. The B cut in this event, a 4:21.99. Mid 53 is the 100 pace for Gabriel. He is 2:35 at the 300. Low 54 is now the pace. Fastest split on the board belongs to Cal's Tyler Kopp over in lane 2. Keaton Jones right next door is also swimming well. The yards to go. We're looking at times in the low 20s here. Big race over there between teammates Keaton and Tyler. Gabriel cruises in at 4:20.7, 4:21.1 for Keaton, and a 21.4 for Tyler. Couple of nice time drops here for Anders and Grant in lanes 4 and 5. Heat 2. Swimming in lane 1 for Minnesota, Jackson Brown. In lane 2 for Harvard, Noah Brun. Lane 3 for Pittsburgh, Drew Henry. In lane 4 for Pitt, Alex Kraft. In lane 5 for Harvard, Shane Washard. Lane 6 for California, Trent Franson. Lane 7 for Ball State, Malcolm Slater. And lane 8 for Pitt, Wesley Keppard. Here are the qualifiers for the women's 500 free. Our second alternate is Grace Yoon. First alternate, Robin Cruz Abrams. Qualifying into the C final. In 24, Kate Bailey. 23rd, Elle Niebuhr. 22nd, Ella Smith. 21st, Katya Sudakova. 20th, Jill Berger. 19, Molly Hamlin. 18, Jade Roger. And 17th, Ava Sipfin. Qualifying into the B final in 16th, Sydney Liu. 15, Tessa Mock. 14, Malia Rausch. 13, Ashlyn Fiorilli. 12th, Abby Licht. 11, Tia Lindsay. 10, Anya Kalievic. And 9th, Piper Wood Prince. Qualifying into the A final. In 8th, Ava Chavez. 7, Elliot Kennedy. 6th, Alexandra Baston. 5th, Catherine Hazel. 4th, Katie McCarthy. 3rd, Rachel Klinker. 2nd, Megan Van Berkom. And our top qualifier with a time of 4:42.72 from California, Mia Modekaitis. Our top 5 finishers, or top 5 qualifiers, all achieved B cuts. Official meet time is 10:32. Coaches, make sure that you provide your scratches in a timely fashion. This event will close at 11:02. And checking in with the group here at the 300 is Trent Franson of Cal, Shane Washard of Harvard, and Jackson Brown of Minnesota. Our top 3. .100 yards to go. Still Trent and Shane. And Trent, 4:24.3. 4:25 for Shane. And Jackson Brown with a nice 4:28.98. Jackson Brown definitely not running on empty. 8-second drop. Heat 3. In lane 1 from Arizona, Beck Parnham. Lane 2 from Arizona, Mason Nybur. In lane 3 for Minnesota, Chris Naj. In lane 4 from Harvard, Harris Durham. Lane 5 from Pittsburgh is Guy Frimis. In lane 6 from Cal, Jack Meehan. 7 from Cal, Robin Hansen. And in lane 8 from Arizona, Hayden Gufran. And Cal's Robin Hansen. He is out fast. .144 for Jack Meehan, 142 for Robin Hansen. Beck Parnham of Arizona in lane 1 has a nice one going here. Hansen's putting a low 54 pace. And we got a little challenge going here from Beck Parnham in lane 1. Fastest split on the board by about 3 or 4 tenths. And Beck really coming on. 100 to go. Beck really bringing up the legs now, and he will hear the bell first. 53-second pace for Beck. On his way to about a 23. And as predicted, 4:23.99 for Beck. Heat 4. Swimming in lane 1 for Harvard, Tristan Dalby. In lane 2 for Minnesota, William Christensen. In lane 3 for Harvard, Cole Custer. In lane 5 from Pitt, Michael Piela. Lane 6 for Minnesota, Bar Solovajczyk. Lane 7 for Cal, Aaron Shackle. And in lane 8 for Harvard, Philip Lagny. Cal's Aaron Shackle, first-year swimmer from Cal, leading at the 100. Turning second is Minnesota's school record holder, Bar Solovajczyk. And for the second 50 in a row, Bar of Minnesota with the fastest split on the board. 142 at the 200 for Bar, 141 for Aaron. Bar also holds the Gopher School records in the 1,000 and the mile. We are halfway through and we are tied for the lead. Bar still splitting 53 flat. Coaches, you're reminded that if you want to swim time trials at the conclusion of this prelim session, we would sure appreciate those before the start of the men's 200 IM. So time trials, coaches, please get those in the next few minutes before the start of the 200 IM, if you would. And there's the bell for Bar Solovajczyk. Making a bid for our top seed here. Gabriel Jett posted a 4:20 out of Heat 1. And there's a 4:20.25. That was our number one qualifier. Second place goes to William Christensen, a nice 4:22.3. Nice 6-second drop for William. And an 8-second drop for Bar. And now the women's 200 IM, Heat 1. In lane 3 for Arizona, Nadia Borauri. In lane 4 for Minnesota, Ava Gustafson. Swimming in lane 5, the current American record holder in the para S9, Summer Schmidt. And in lane 6 of California, Annika McEnroe. Leading at the 100 is Annika of Cal. Nice 57 out. Summer turns at 109. Summer, a member of the USA Paralympic team. Summer's American record in this event, 2:19.66. Keep an eye on that as Annika McEnroe, 2:03.50. Second goes to Ava Gustafson of the Gophers, 2:06.8. And Summer in at 2:21.90. Heat 2. Swimming in lane 1 is Indy Jongman of Minnesota. Lane 2, her teammate Claire Reinke. In lane 3, Kate Haslett of Harvard. In lane 5, from Harvard, Stephanie Yanakani. Lane 6 for Pittsburgh, Jesse Strong. Lane 7 from Harvard, Alexandra Denisenko. And in lane 8 from Cal, Abigail Hesku. And a nice backstroke leg by Indy Jongman puts her up into the lead at the 100. but the breaststroke belongs to Stephanie Iancani of Harvard. And Stephanie 2:01.56. We have a disqualification in Heat 2. Lane 3 is disqualified for a stroke violation. Here are the qualifiers in the men's 500 freestyle. The alternate, Grant Wadney. Qualifying into the C final in 24th, Wesley Keppert. 23rd, Alex Kraft. 22nd, Malcolm Slater. 21st, Anders Eisters. In 20th, Noah Bruni. 19th, Philip Lunyi. 18th, Guy Frimis. And 17th, Jackson Brown. Qualifying into the B final in 16th, Harris Durham. 15th, Chris Naj. 14, Mason Nybor. 13, Michael Piela. 12, Jack Meehan. 11, Shane Washard. 10, Robin Henson. 9, Trent Franzen. And qualifying into the A final. In 8th, Beck Parnham. 7th, Aaron Shekel. 6th, Cole Custer. 5th, William Christensen. 4th, Tyler Kopp. 3rd, Keaton Jones. Qualifying 2nd, Gabriel Jett. On our top qualifier with a time of 4:20.25 from the University of Minnesota, Bar Solovicek. Official meet time is 10:54. This event will close at 11:24. Ready now for Heat 3. This is the second of our circle seeded heats. Swimming in lane 1 for Minnesota, Elizabeth Jacobs. In lane 2 for California, Alicia Henry. Lane 3 for Arizona, Daisy Anderson. In lane 4 for Pitt, Sydney Gring. Lane 5 for Cal, Ava Chavez. Lane 6 for Pittsburgh, Angelina Messina. Lane 7 from Pittsburgh, Jayla Pina. And in lane 8 for Harvard, Ro Dudevois. And as we launch the freestyle, Ava Chavez, our leader. And Ava in at 1:58.43. Sydney Gring, our number 2 seed, as our number 2 finisher in Heat 3. 1:59.33. And now heat 4. Swimming in lane 1 for Minnesota, Brigitte Neverman. In lane 2 for Cal, Lizzie Cook. Lane 3, her teammate Catherine Hazel. And in lane 4, our top seed from Cal, Isabel Stadden. In lane 5, from Arizona, Kelly Wasikowski. And lane 6 from Minnesota, Grace Drabot. Lane 7 from Arizona, Caroline Kramer. And in lane 8 from Harvard, Lizzie Brock. Isabel Stadden, of course, on the Team USA in the backstroke. 28 flat, her backstroke split. Looked like it was a cruise. She brings a B cut of 1:58.51 into the meet. And Isabel at 1:29. She could put it on cruise from here on out and punch her ticket to the A final in either lane 4 or 5. 1:58.43, the time to beat by Ava Chavez in the previous heat. And a 1:57.94. Teammate Catherine Hazel in at 1:59.3. And Lizzie Cook, 2:00.46. As all three of those look to punch their ticket to the A final tonight. Our next event is the men's 200 IM. He won. In what looks like a California-Minnesota dual meet. Swimming in lane 2 from Cal, Tommy Roeder. Lane 3 from Minnesota, Neil Simpson. Lane 4 from Cal, Hank Rivers. Lane 5 from Cal, Roman Jones. And lane 6, one more Golden Bear, Samuel Quarles. In lane 7 from Minnesota, Max Schreier. And Hank Rivers on his way perhaps to about a 146 or 7. And it's Samuel Quarles with the nice freestyle split, 148.7. Heat 2. In lane 1 from Minnesota, Joe Rudd. Lane 2 from Pitt, Michael Ryan. Lane 3 from Arizona, Mitchell Oliver. Lane 4 from Minnesota, Casey Stowe. Lane 5 from Pitt, Drew Heck. Lane 6 from Pitt, Marcin Garaj. Lane 7 from Pitt, Stepan Goncharov. And lane 8 from Minnesota, Josh Johnston. Last call for prelim time trials. Coaches, if you want to time trial anybody, got to get them in now. Here are the qualifiers for the women's 200 IM. Second alternate is Summer Schmidt. First alternate, Ro Dudevois. Qualifying into the C final. 24th, Lizzie Brock. 23rd, Nadia Barari. 22nd, Jayla Pina. 21st, Ava Gustafson. 20th, Elizabeth Jacobs. 19, April Hersku. 18, Caroline Kramer. 17, Jessie Strong. Qualifying into the B final. 16th, Indy Jongman. 15, Claire Reinke. 14, Annika McEnroe. 13, Brigitte Neverman. 12, Alicia Henry. 11th, Angela Messina. 10th, Alexandra Denisenko. And 9th, Daisy Anderson. Qualifying into the A final. In 8th, Kelsey Wasikowski. 7th, Stephanie Iancani. 6th, Grace Drabot. 5th, Lizzie Cook. 4th, Catherine Hazel. 3rd, Sydney Gring. 2nd, Ava Chavez, our top qualifier, with a B-cut time of 157.94. Isabel Stadden of California. Official meet time is 11:05. This event will close at 11:35. And once again, last call for time trials. Heat 3. In lane 1 from Arizona, Will Myers. Lane 2 from Minnesota, Drew Kalin. In lane 3 from Minnesota, Des Sakchen. Lane 4 from Harvard, Alex Petty. Lane 5 from Arizona, Tres Mungia. 6th from Cal, Tavis Siebert. In lane 7 from Pittsburgh, Jensen Nelson. And in lane 8 from Minnesota, Drew Kistler. At the 100, Tavis Siebert. Half a second ahead of Des Sakchen. Des, one of the Gopher co-captains and one of the top backstrokers in the Big Ten. Jensen Nelson of Pitt throwing down a little breaststroke, as is Trace Medinga. Jensen Nelson of Pitt with a 149.5. Des Sakshan 150.2. Heat 4. Swimming in lane 1 from Cal, Najera Humberto. In lane 2 from Pittsburgh, Nick Short. In lane 3 from Harvard, Felipe Bafico. In lane 4 from Cal, second in last year's NCAA championships here at the Hall of Speed, Destin Lasco. In lane 5 from Harvard, Gunnar Grant. Lane 6 from Arizona, Brian Wong. In lane 7 from Minnesota, Jack Ballard. In lane 8 from Arizona, Tate Botti. And Destin Lasco showing off his backstroke, 25.4. He was 138 in the NCAA championships last year. And Destin 142.76. $145.50 for Gunnar Grant. Now Heat 5. Swimming in lane 1 from Minnesota, Cameron Linder. In lane 2, also from Minnesota, senior co-captain Kaiser Neverman. In lane 3, senior from Pitt, Javier Zozano-Hover. Lane 4, from Cal, he was third in the 200 fly here at last year's Nationals, Gabriel Jett. In lane 5, from Minnesota, our number 5 seed, Alberto Hernandez Garcia. In lane 6 from Arizona, Ryan Purdy. Lane 7 from Cal. And in lane 8 from Minnesota, Luke Leonidas. And pretty tight racing in the middle of the pool here. Gabriel, Alberto, and Ryan. And Ryan Purdy of Arizona pulling away in lane 6. Throws down a nice 30.8 breaststroke. Kaiser Neverman, 30.7, has pulled himself into third. He and Gabriel Jett turn right together with 25 to go as Ryan Purdy leads the field. And Purdy 144.9. Jett 146.6 and Kaiser Neverman 146.6. Heat 6. In lane 1 from Arizona, Ryan Foote. In lane 2 from Arizona, Jake Hand. In lane 3 from Minnesota, Ryan Slonik. Lane 4 from Pittsburgh, Max Matazzeri. Lane 5 from Arizona, Orion Henderson. Lane 6 from Harvard, David Schmidt. Lane 7 from Arizona, Jaden Neighbor. And lane 8 from Arizona, Tanner Wisdom. At the 100, Max, our top seed at 48.5. And Max at 1:19, gonna make for a very snug top 6 or 7 in that A final tonight. And here comes Orion Henderson and also Jaden Neighbor over in lane 7 as Max cruises to a 145.60. And 50 swimmers, just so you're aware, will announce the names of the swimmers behind the blocks because you are so fast we can't do it while you're in the water. Our next event is the 50 free. Swimming in lane 1, in lane 2, Eleni Gewalt, Arizona. Lane 2, Isabella Riley of Cal. Lane 4, Avery Kudlik of Pitt. Lane 5, her teammate Parker Del Bosco. In lane 6 from Cal, Morgan Brophy. In lane 7 from Arizona, Paige Armstrong. He won. 22.77 for Morgan Brophy of Cal. Swimming in Heat 2 will be Maddie London in Lane 1 of Pitt. Lane 2, her teammate Olivia Yu. In Lane 3, one more Panther, Jessie Strong. In Lane 4, Ava Yablonsky, Minnesota. In Lane 5, Mia Magdalena Hagstad-Skarda of Arizona. Lane 6, Jessica Davis, Cal. Lane 7, Katya Sudakova, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Jade Nasser of Cal. Heat 2. And we have us a little outside smoke. Jade Nasser of Cal, 23-14. Next up in Heat 3, Lane 1, Fiona O'Connor, Minnesota. Lane 2, Ava Goodnow, Minnesota. In Lane 3, Kristen Hockenerdaughter, Harvard. Lane 4, Aphrodite Agathanakis, Pitt. Lane 5, Maddie Alawalia, Arizona. Lane 6, Olivia Livingston, Pitt. Lane 7, Paula Rodriguez Rodero, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Abby Duncan of Pitt. Nice 22-9 by Maddie Alawalia. Next up in Heat 4, Lane 1, is Maya Genzel of Pitt. Lane 2, Blythe Wykowick, Harvard. Lane 3, Sydney Griskavich of Cal. Lane 4, Hope Fellner, Arizona. Lane 5, Stephanie Akakaboda, Cal. Lane 6, Tara Kuliberg of Pitt. Lane 7, Daniela Cogswell of California. And Lane 8, Amelie Mortensen of Arizona. And Stephanie Akakaboda, 22-74. In Heat 5, Lane 1 is Julia Heimstead of Arizona. Julia is not here. In Lane 2, Emily Gantries of Cal. Lane 3, her teammate Ella Mazurek. And Lane 4, another bear, McKenna Stone. Lane 5, Grace Anderson, Arizona. Lane 6, Lexi Dutcherer, Arizona. Lane 7, Mina Kaljevic, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Avery McFadden of Pittsburgh. Heat 5. And into the circle seeds now, 22-45 for McKenna Stone of Cal. And now in heat 6, lane 1, Anya Mustek of Harvard. Lane 2, Morgan Thomas of Minnesota. Lane 3, Isabel Stadden of Cal. Lane 4, Sophie Endel, Pittsburgh. Lane 5, Eloise Riley of California. Lane 6, Hannah Cornish, Minnesota. Lane 7, Alyssa Schwengel of Arizona. And lane 8, Isabella Alas of Harvard. In heat 5, lane 5 is disqualified for a false start. Heat 6. And lane 4, number 2 seed, Sophie Endel of Pitt, 22-14. And now in our final heat of the women's 50, in lane 1, Claire Jensen of Pittsburgh. Lane 2, Alexa Puccini, Arizona. Lane 3, Elizabeth Timmer, Arizona. In lane 4, our top seed from Ball State, Peyton Kelly. Lane 5, Julia Wozniak, Arizona. Lane 6, Miriam Shikazagango of Arizona. Lane 7, Maddie Burt of Arizona. And lane 8, Julia Urbanowski, Arizona. And Peyton Kelly, 22-45. Here are the qualifiers for the men's 200-yard individual medley finals tonight. Our second alternate is Ryan Foote. First alternate, Tommy Roeder. Qualifying into the C final in 24th, Des Sachin. Tied for 22nd, Casey Stowe and David Schmidt. In 21st, Tavner Wisdom. In 20th, Humberto Najera. 19th, Jensen Nelson. 18, Hank Rivers. And 17, Tate Body. Qualifying into the B final. 16th, Sean Swift. 15th, Javi Zorzano Hover. 14th, Stepan Garcharov. 13th, Alberto Hernandez Garcia. 12th, Samuel Quarles. 11th, Jake Hand. 10th, Ryan Slonak. And 9th, Marcin Courage. Qualifying into the A final. In 8th, Kaiser Neverman. 7th, Gabriel Jett. 6th, Orion Henderson. 5th, Jaden Neighbor. 4th, Max Matezei. And 3rd, Gunnar Grant. 2nd, Ryan Purdy on our top qualifier with a time of 1:42.76 from Cal, Destin Lasco. Official time is 11:27. This event will close at 11:57. Ready now for the men's 50-yard freestyle. Swimming in heat 1 in lane 3, Miles Bataille, Arizona. 4, Ian Steffen of Minnesota. 5, Drew Heck, Pittsburgh. And lane 6, Ryan Hardy of Arizona. Pretty aggressive start there by Ian Steffen as he blew the starting block apart. But first to the wall is going to be Ryan Hardy at 1990. In Heat 2, swimming in lane 1, Michael Ryan of Pittsburgh. Lane 2, Kai Cruz of Cal. Lane 4, Nicola Hench, Harvard. Lane 5, Forrest Frazier, Cal. Lane 6, Drew Jalbert, Pittsburgh. Lane 7, Ogie Marek of Arizona. And lane 8, Jacob Soderlund of Cal. And Kai Cruz of Cal, 1971. Next up is Heat 3. In lane 1, Matthew Jensen of Cal. Lane 2, Luca Gussendaner, Cal. Lane 3, Tyler Hansen of Minnesota. Lane 4, Matt McDonald of Minnesota. Lane 5, Andrew Hallett, California. Lane 6, Adam Mahler, Pittsburgh. Lane 7, Dare Rose, California. And lane 8, Jordan Smolsky of Pittsburgh. At the flags, Dare Rose and Matthew Jensen. Dare, 1981. Matthew, 1994. And now Heat 4, swimming in lane 1, Harris Durham of Harvard. 2, Eric Sharabura, Pittsburgh. 3, Pierce Deese of Harvard. Lane 4, Dylan Hawk of Cal. Lane 5, Tommy McCarthy, Minnesota. Lane 6, Nicholas Antonio of Cal. Lane 7, Anders Eisters of Harvard. And lane 8, Josh Smith of Pittsburgh. Let's have a big hand for Jennifer Martini on buoy duty. Heat 4. Next up is Heat 5, first of our circle-seeded heats. In lane 1, Sonny Wang, Harvard. Lane 2, Marcus Holmquist, Harvard. Lane 3, Dominic Toledo Sanchez, Pitt. Lane 4, Jack Alexei of Cal. Lane 5, Stepan Goncharov, Pitt. Lane 6, Krzysztof Radoszewski of Pittsburgh. Lane 7, Lovros Sardarovic, Minnesota. And lane 8, Joey Gaborik of Ball State. Jack Alexei, our number 3 seed, has got a B cut already. And he improves on that, 19.26. And now heat 6. In lane 1, Omar Abdelwahab of Minnesota. Lane 2, Daniel Young, Arizona. Lane 3, Seth Miller, Arizona. Lane 4, Tommy Palmer of Arizona. In lane 5, Davide Maria Haravagiu, Minnesota. Lane 6, Cal Colby Hatton. Lane 7, Liam Bell of Cal. And lane 8, Oliver Pinklington of Harvard. And even with an extra stroke, Tommy Palmer, Arizona, 19.54. His best time of the year. And now our final heat, heat 7. Lane 1 is Robin Hansen of Cal. Lane 2, Tristan Dalby of Harvard. In lane 4, third in the NCAA's last year, senior from Cal, Bjorn Seeliger. In lane 5, Owen Chai, Ball State. Lane 6, Jack Donovan of Arizona. Lane 7, David Greeley of Harvard. And lane 8, Connor Groya of Minnesota. Heat 7. And Seeliger cruises to a 1944. Nice 1967 for Robin Hansen of Cal. Here are the qualifiers for the women's 50. Our second alternate is Mina Kaljevic, Minnesota. First alternate, Julia Urbanowski. Qualifying into the C final in 24th. Daniela Cogswell, 23rd, Jade Nesser, 22nd, Sydney Griskavich, 21st, Lexi Duxerer, 20th, Maddie Burt, 19th, Alyssa Schwengel, 18th, Claire Jensen, and 17th, Maddie Alawalia. Qualifying into the B final tonight in 16th is Mary Shikalazadegenkan. My apologies on that. 15th, Alexa Puccini. 14th, Julie Wozniak. 13th, Elizabeth Timmer. 12th, Anya Mostek. 11th, Morgan Brophy. 10th, Stephanie Akakoboda, and 9th, Morgan Thomas, qualifying into the A final. Tied for 7th, Hannah Cornish and Ella Mazurek. Qualifying 6th, Isabel Stadden. 5th, Emily Gantries. Qualifying tied for 3rd, McKenna Stone and Kelly Payton. Qualifying 2nd is Eloise Riley. And our top qualifier with a time of 22.14 from Pittsburgh, Sophie Yendel. Official time is 11:38. The women's 50 will close at 12:08. We will begin time trials at 11:45. Swimmers, please be aware of the diving board. Diving boards are being used. If you're going to use the diving well for cool down, you have to be in a lane. So help us out here, swimmers and coaches. If you're using the diving well for cool down, you must be in a lane. We now have a series of time trials. 5 heats worth. First up is a 100-yard freestyle time trial. In lane 4 is Ralph Deladen Curafuri of Arizona. .42 flat, nice time for Ralph. Next up, we're going to combine a 200 breaststroke time trial with 200 fly. Swimming breaststroke in lane 3 from Cal, Hannah Brunzel. In lane 5, swimming butterfly for Minnesota, Faith Johnson. And in lane 5, also going butterfly, her teammate Ava Yablonsky. He won. Here are the qualifiers for the men's 50. Second alternate, Matt McDonald. First alternate, Omar Abdelwahab. Qualifying for the C final. 24th, Stepan Goncharov. 23rd, Dylan Hawk. 22nd, Sonny Wang. 21st, Daniel Young. 20th, Owen Chai. 19th, Connor Groya. 18th, Lovros Siderovic. And 17th, Krzysztof Radoszewski. Qualifying for the B final. In 16th, David Greeley. 15th, Colby Hatton. 14, Marcus Holmquist. 13, Matthew Jensen. 12th, Dominic Toledo Sanchez. 11th, Ryan Hardy. In 10th, Davide Maria Harabagiu. 9th, Dari Rose. Qualifying into the A final tonight in 8th place, Seth Miller. 7th, Jack Donovan. 6th, Kai Cruz. 5th, Robin Hansen. 4th place, Liam Bell. 3rd, Tommy Palmer. 2nd, Bjorn Seeliger. And our top qualifier with a time of 19.26 from Cal, Jack Alexi. Official meet time is 11:49. This event will close at 12:19. Nice 159.12 for Ava Yablonsky. 210.86 for Hannah in the breaststroke. Next up, 50-yard backstroke time trial. In lane 4 from Minnesota, Paula Rodriguez Rivero. Paula is a University of Minnesota team co-captain. 12:48 out. And 25:36. Next up is 50-yard backstroke for the men. Lane 4, Eric Camden of Pitt, and lane 6, Paul Laro of Pitt. He won. And a pair of low 23s. And we'll wrap up our time trials with a 50-yard breaststroke time trial. Swimming in lane 4 for Pitt, Jerry Chen. He won. And a 25:04 for Jerry. And some congratulations are in order with our time trials. Ralph in the 100 freestyle made a B cut, a very strong B cut. In the 200 breaststroke, Hannah made the B cut. 200 fly, Ava of Minnesota made a B cut. So some productive swims in our time trials today. Well, that concludes the time trials. And during the break, we will move on to diving. And we will see you all back here for finals tonight, starting at 6 o'clock.